Hi guys, my name's Lexi,
And my name is Jessica.
and today we're going to be going over 5 easy ways that you can use LeadAR today. Just wanted to remind you guys that this is a pre-recorded webinar, but we do have somebody monitoring the chat in case you have any questions throughout the webinar. So today, the first step that we're going to be going over is the contact form, and Jessica's going to touch on that.
Yes, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is forms. And one thing I would strongly suggest is any form that you currently have, whether it's a simple contact us form, maybe a email sign up on your website, or even like an event or anything like that, right, where we want to grab information, right? The goal of any form, no matter why we're using the form, is grabbing people's information. And so definitely utilize the form builder inside of LeadAR instead of a third party. So the reason why I say that is because as long as it's created inside of LeadAR, what happens is once somebody fills it out, they will then be created as a contact right inside of LeadAR. And on top of that, in Aesthetic Record, they will show under the Leads tab right there. So we're having two ways where we can see the leads, and then from there, right, we can nurture them instead of, right, third party, right, we would have to worry about importing data, all that stuff, where if you just build it right inside of LeadAR, it'll be easy to just zap those leads right inside of the system. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is share my screen, and we're going to kind of go over a form. So how we get here is we go down to sites, click into forms. As you can see, I'm already in here. And what I'm going to do is just simply click into one that I already pre-built. All right, so here, right, again, the simple contact us form, right? I'm sure, if not almost everyone on their website has a contact us form, right? Again, the whole goal is grabbing their information. So here, I'll kind of very briefly go over how we can build one. So here we hit the little plus sign. Here are all of your elements, right? So basic things that you usually would want to ask for grabbing their information, right? So we can see, the name, phone number, email. Scrolling down, we can get more nitty gritty with, state even. And then scrolling down, right, we have some text options, image options, of course, right, if we want to put your logo on top of in the beginning of the form. And then, right, so these are just our quick, easy add options. If we want to do something a little more unique or, for the practice, right, like maybe something as like, oh, hey, what services are you interested in, right? Of course, probably when we're grabbing a new lead, right, we want to know what they're interested in. So when we reach out to this lead, right, we're nurturing and texting them with the right text. So with this one, you can see in this example, we have which services would you like more information on? And so with this one, you would go into custom fields and create that. That's where you can totally customize what you want the message to say, or in this sense, the question to say, and then also the options. It can be, a drop down, yes, no, comment section, right, wherever or however you want that contact form to look like. And then just in terms of, right, the looks, making it pretty, matching your branding colors, is you would go up towards the top here where you would click. Again, right, this is where you can totally play around with the layout, the colors, all of that stuff. So, right, once we have it built, really now, okay, great, where do we put this form? And so inside of LeadAR, we have a couple different options on where we can actually put this form. So I am going to go ahead and hit integrate. All right, so if we're talking about a form like a contact us form or, a sign up if they want to join the email list, right? We want to make that look like it lives on your website, right? So this is where we would always choose inline. If we're doing a special, which again, another perfect example why we'd want to use a form is even if we're doing, a little special for, maybe first-time customers get 5% off any first-time service that they come in and get. This is where we can play around with the pop-up, polite slide-in, sticky bar, right? Just different types of pop-up settings. But again, if you wanted to make it look like it lives in your website, we'll just do inline. Again, we can also play around with these settings here as well, but really, okay, once we have all of that set up, then we can decide if we want to embed it on your website or even just make it a link. So For the contact us form, probably want it on our website. So we would hit copy embed code. Then wherever you edit your website, we would just paste that code right inside of your website builder, and then it'll be live. And then another thing I would also strongly suggest is, right, not every lead that you get is going to come from your website. So we can still utilize the same exact contact us form, but we can make it a link. And we can put it in your link tree on your Instagram profile, Facebook, right? Any social media platform, TikTok, if you use TikTok, right? So multiple ways and platforms where we're posting this form to fill out, but right, we're just reaching out to more platforms where we can grab those leads. And again, right, the whole point is grabbing people's information. So, right, I know I went in and talked about, things like contact us form, right, more basic things like that. But same thing, right, any event that you go to, definitely make a QR code and make the form, right? And then they're easy, grabbing leads in, and then you can nurture them.
So the next thing that you can do for your LeadAR account is turn on a funnel. A lot of my questions that I get from my clients are, what's a funnel? Why do I need to use this, etc. So think of a funnel as a digital flyer or a landing page that somebody can click a link to get to. So you can send this out via text message, which is normally the way that I recommend doing it. So today, for example, we're gonna have a funnel for post-treatment instructions. So I'm gonna share my screen and just walk you through that just a little bit. So here I already have this built out. So if you click into this and then click edit. So for example, for today, we did a CO2 laser treatment. We know that this is kind of more of an extensive treatment rather than just getting tox or something like that. So you might want to send them post-treatment instructions just to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to for the best results, right? So here I just put in some fake information, whatever, but you can also put in a call to action at the end, like, have any questions, please give us a call, because I think that you want to be accessible in case they are having any trouble with anything, right? So obviously this is a template and everything in here is editable. So I always tell my clients, anything that you want to edit in LeadAR, whether it's a form, a funnel, an email template, etc., click into it. So for example, obviously your logo is going to be LeadAR. So if you wanted to change this, all you have to do is click into it, and you see settings on the right hand side change, so where you can scroll down and put your own image in here. So I just recommend doing that because you're going to be doing a lot of different funnels, a lot of different email templates, etc., and you want to be able to customize it and make it your own. If you're on the Grow plan, you have access to every single one of these, so just know that they are in your account, and if you're interested in upgrading, please let us know. So after your funnel is done and you've completed everything, what you're going to do is go back into here, and these are your different settings and things like that. So obviously we have to make this live at some point, otherwise you can never send the link to get it to anywhere. So as you can see, I've already linked it here, and that's why this link is there. But for a lot of you guys, you will not see that right when you start off. So you have to link it to a domain, and Jess is gonna go over just a little bit on how to do so.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take over and talk a little bit about the domain part. So really what we're actually doing here is just creating a subdomain. So like Lexi said, is right under here, for most of you guys, you'll hit this drop down and we won't see anything. No worries, I'll show you how we can go ahead and connect it so it's live. So all we would just simply do is click add edit domain, and then here, like I said, for most of you guys, it'll be empty here. So what we are going to do is click add. And again, like I said, I called it a subdomain, so we're not actually physically tying it to your main website, but basically a sub website, if that makes sense. So in this perfect scenario, right? So when you're creating these subdomains, in this case, I would suggest to be a little more specific based on that specific treatment for those post-care follow-up instructions, only because, right, when we're thinking about funnels and creating subdomains, they can only be linked to and live only connected to just one funnel. So for this example, right, we were talking about the CO2 lasers. So for this subdomain, we're gonna go ahead and type in post-treatment CO2 dot, and then we can just do, right, we'll just use ours for an example, myleadar.com. And then we would go ahead and hit continue. And so while it's loading on your screen, setting up your domain, 9 times out of 10, it will actually be able to tell where your domain is. So right, you can see ours is through Cloudflare, but if it's through Squarespace, if it's through GoDaddy, right, it will show up as your logo. And so super simple. All you would have to do is then hit authorize domain. It might have you log in, and then it'll load you up to where you just have to click OK, right? We don't have to worry about entering any DNS records or any of that sorts. Just simply just logging into wherever your domain is, and then you would hit authorize, and then it would propagate inside of here. So you would see post-treatment CO2 dot in this case, myleadar.com. So then what you would do once it's created, great, now we can just go under the domain section, and oh hey, now I see the new subdomain that I have just created. And again, I just want to reiterate, in this case, right, we definitely want to do a little more specific when we're naming our subdomain, right, especially if we are wanting to send, you know, in-depth and detailed post-treatment instructions for multiple services, not just CO2.
And so after you select that domain, if you click over, just click back into here, and then I'm gonna go back, you will see that it becomes live. And here is where that link is. And so this is where you can grab that link and put it as a trigger link. And just in a second, we're gonna show you how you can add this to your already pre-built automations. So this is where you would grab that link. So I'm just going to copy it here. And then I am going to go into the marketing tab. And then here is where you can add a trigger link. So it's just handy dandy, ready for you whenever you're typing out a text message or whatever it might be. So here you can click add link. So I'm just gonna label it so you know exactly what the link is. And then I'm going to paste it here. And then we're gonna click save there. And so now we can go into automations just for a second to show you where you can add this into your follow-up workflows. And Jess is gonna show you how to add that in there.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go into our automation section. We're gonna go ahead and find the follow-up treatment for CO2 laser. And so, right, probably wanna send that post-care instructions a day after their treatment. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is go ahead and click onto this SMS. Again, here, right, we can totally customize the verbiage, but here is where we actually add the link to that funnel page. So we'd hit this little lightning bolt where it says trigger links, and then scroll down. Awesome, we see the link, and then there they have it. And again, just to reiterate, again, why, you know, creating a funnel page for these post-treatment SMS follow-ups is right. Text messaging is charged per segment. So, right, if we have a huge text with all the post-care instructions, right, that could definitely add up quick. So this is a perfect example on where and why we would use funnel links.
So, right, for this template that's probably already in your account if you're on the Grow plan, since we just added this trigger link, what you can do, right, she said earlier that you can change the verbiage just a little bit. So a good thing that, you know, you could say is, you know, maybe how are you feeling? Minimize that, and then click the link below to view your post-treatment instructions. So, right, obviously that's a different way that you can word it, and then once they click on that link, all of that verbiage is there, just like Jessica said, saving you a lot of money with super lengthy text message. That is another reason why I would highly suggest doing a funnel page. So just back into funnels just a little bit more. You don't have to use it in an automation or for post-treatment instructions. You can do things like putting your specials on a funnel page and sending out a text blast once a month regarding that. So here in my screen, I'm going to show you, I have a template just for an SMS. So, right, let's say we already had that 4th of July funnel already built just like we did for the post treatment. It just says your specials for the month. So here we can edit this, and it's 4th of July SMS deals. And here just a simple click link below to view our specials instead of sending a super lengthy text message. So here, right, we have this trigger link, and there it is, 4th of July specials. And then you can click save there. And so if you want to send an SMS blast, which I highly recommend because I feel like a lot of people use SMS a little bit more than email and might see it faster. So if you navigate to the contacts, right here, you can choose exactly who you're wanting to send it to. Maybe you just want to send it to your members, or you want to send it to everyone, totally up to you there. But we're just going to send it to everyone for this example. So all you have to do is click on name and select all. And then right, we're going to send an SMS here. And so since I already created that little snippet, it's going to be right up here, so I didn't have to retype it. So you can totally just type it here, but you can also create little snippets that you can pull from. So here, 4th of July specials, and then there's that link, and then you can just put an action like 4th of July SMS, and then you would just click send. So now all of these people that you've selected have gotten that message for the 4th of July and a link to view your specials that you have going on for the month. So just wanted to reiterate there, you can use funnels for a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be just for automations. You can do it for SMS blast too, which I highly recommend.
Okay, so for today's webinar, the last thing that we're going to talk about is automations, right? So especially if you're a Grow Plan user, you have a ton of pre-built automations built out. And one automation that I would strongly suggest to turn on is your abandoned online booking. That one, we don't even have to make any tweaks. We can just automatically turn that automation on so we can start nurturing those potential leads that came from abandoned online booking. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so I'm going to go into automations. If you're a Grow Plan user, you'll see some of these automations inside of here. And so I'm going to go ahead and click into the first one. There's a two-step part automation, but I'll go in way more depth explaining it. So with this one, before I get started, I want to just talk about the tagging and how that works, right? So anyone comes onto your website, fills out as if they're going to book, but then, right, never actually hit that confirm button to book their appointment, right? So what happens is that in LeadAR, they get tagged, and this happens in real time, which is really nice, especially for this automation. Okay, so the trigger here is as soon as they get tagged with abandoned online booking, again, that is in real time. What will happen is in 20 minutes, we wait, right? We don't want to send a text message like a minute after. Give it at least a couple of minutes where we wait 20 minutes, and then we go ahead and try to nurture this potential lead into an actual client. So you can see the little SMS. It just says, hi, contact first name. It looks like you forgot something. Your desired service is still waiting for you. Ready to book. Click the link below to make that happen. And so again, the trigger link isn't here right now, but just making sure that you make a trigger link for your booking link. So right here, yep, we can just do booking link. And so really that is the only little small change that you would have to do. All right, and so, right, so this is just great, especially, right, we never want to have these potential leads, slip through the cracks, not reaching out in time, right, and so this is so nice that it's completely automated.
And just another thing to add, I would totally check your settings on this, because if a client or patient is on your website at 4 a.m., it will text them at 4:20, so I would totally turn on specific time for this. And you can choose, right, if you want to do 8 to 8 p.m., maybe you wanted to click Saturday and Sundays, totally up to you, but just make sure that you adjust that setting there. Otherwise, leads could be getting texts in the middle of the night, and that's something that we definitely don't want. So just wanted to reiterate that.
All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and go over the part 2 of the automation, right? So again, they're getting tagged in real time with that abandoned online booking tag. So of course, when we actually, get the lead to book, right? We don't want that tag on there anymore, right? Especially if we do maybe a nurture campaign 3 months down, where maybe anyone who still has that abandoned online booking, right? Maybe we do one more nurturing campaign to try to get them in one last time, right? Well, if they've already booked, right, we obviously don't want to reach out to them. So this automation right here, I'm going to go ahead and click into it. So this automation is customer booked an appointment, but we have a filter on it. So I'm going to click onto it. So anytime a customer books an appointment and has the abandoned online booking tag, what we're going to do is just simply remove it, right? At this point, we've won them. We've got them to book an appointment. So that's also just really important, right? We don't want to mess up our lists and our tagging when we look like, no, like this person has a abandoned online booking tag, but I just saw her yesterday, right? So that part 2 automation is really huge, just making sure once we do win the lead that really we don't need that tag on their contact anymore. All right, so that concludes our webinar today. I hope you found those 5 tips really helpful.
And if you have any questions at all, please email info@myleadar.com and we can assist you there. Thanks, guys.